Most of photographers and videographers' dream is to get an additional lens, or maybe 3, maybe have 2 camera bodies. Also, to buy a drone or lots of other cool gadgets like filters, tripods, gimbals. I get it. It is very exciting to do research and get a new toy. But the question is, when is it enough? And when too much gear, well, is too much? Is that even possible? Turns out it is. So, in this video, we're not talking about the minimalist landscape photography style. We are talking about minimalism in photography, where you have just one camera, 1 or 2 lenses, and that's about it. I will also talk about why we shouldn't forget about minimalism and why sometimes it can be really good for our creativity. My name is Toms Jurieks. Thank you for coming by, and let's get right into it. So I myself own a camera with 5 lenses, a drone and a GoPro, and it was until recently when I went to Portugal for a very short trip and I had planned so much. I intended to take a lot of landscape pictures, compare several lenses, I wanted to catch a sunrise and a sunset, I intended to shoot a bunch of content for YouTube, which involved me talking to the camera, flying a drone, shooting videos, going places, taking pictures, and much more. While doing all these things at the same time, I realized it is just too much. It's too much. And it got me paralyzed. I didn't know what to begin with even, since I was limited by time, by light, and other aspects. To break it down, I had 2 problems. Too many plans and too much gear. Simple as that. On the other extreme, in February this year, yes, this year before the pandemic, I was lucky enough to travel to Vietnam. For this trip, I purposely brought only my Sony a7 II camera and newly purchased Sony 85mm f1.8. If you haven't checked out my Instagram yet, then you must know that I'm a landscape photographer. So bringing just 1 lens for the whole trip was already extreme. Besides, it's a prime lens and it's nowhere near being wide, making the challenge even more extreme. Yes, I did miss having my Zeiss 16 to 35mm wide-angle lens, and I wish I would have some crazy 400mm telephoto lens. But you know what? It was one of my best photography trips I've ever had. Because not for a second I had to think, oh, which lens should I use? Not for a second I was doubting myself if I shouldn't have used another lens. Because I just only had just one option, and I had to make it work. That peace of mind is one of the best feelings ever. On the other hand, of course, it is a little bit frightening too. I must admit that probably I did miss a couple of shots that I would take with other lenses I have. But at the same time, I probably captured some shots that I would otherwise miss by just, changing and swapping the lenses. Not only this was extremely good photography exercise that allowed me to realize my capabilities and potential, but it also allowed me to learn so much more about this lens. And it quickly became one of my absolute favorite lenses because of that. Because I had to make it work for capturing animal photos or landscapes and other types of situations. With all this being said, I by no means want to discourage you from purchasing a drone or a new lens, because in the end that gives you a lot of flexibility and it opens up possibilities for creativity. Instead, those of you who maybe have only 1 or 2 lenses, I want to encourage and make you realize that sometimes even that is enough. And for those who have almost countless amount of gear, to challenge yourself, to bring just 1 lens to a trip, to get the maximum out of it, and to focus on just 1 goal. But most importantly, not to stress, not to worry about missed shots and missed opportunities, but rather incorporate photography or videography in your trip and allow yourself to enjoy the moment. Realize that you are there, enjoy the scenery, and along the way capture some great shots. This is my way of seeing minimalism in photography and videography, and I know it won't work in all occasions, nor it should. So honestly, I would love to have a discussion with you of what you think about all of this. Do you think there can be too much gear in your backpack? Let's have a chat in the comments, and as always guys, I will see you all in the next video.